Good morning. My name is Julia. This is Beginning Yoga. This is the fucking yoga company, not that kind of yoga. I have my coffee. I have a little insanity going on here. You will see to the left, I have some cans of paint, and to the right, I have places where I need to paint. If you are just joining me at this particular moment in time, we are getting ready to put our house on the market in the middle of a pandemic. I don't know what we're thinking. Anyway, today in Beginning Yoga, if you have been following along with me for a while, we're going to do an actual flow. So we have been working for the last few meetings, last few classes. It's early. I'm drinking my coffee as fast as I can. The last few classes, we've been working on some basics. We've been working on some poses, getting you into really good alignment, into your healthy alignment for the pose. And today, look, I'm just sitting in a way I wouldn't want you to sit anyway. We're going to work a little flow. So it'll be a good energy flow, not too strong, not too light. I'm going to do everything in modification. And just so you can kind of try your chops if you're sticking with beginning yoga at more incorporated practice today. I'm not awake yet, as you can see, so we should get started and we'll see if I improve. Alrighty. I am listening to Rainbows and Sunshine Yoga, Rainbows and Sunshine, on my Spotify, the FN Yoga. And we were going to get started. So please remember, always take it at your pace. Soft elbows, soft knees. I'll cue those verbally. And if you get tired or there's something that you're not comfortable doing, there's always a place to bow out and take a rest. And let's just get started, shall we? Let's see if I can get my flow going. So we start in seated position, taking a moment to get ourselves settled. Seated position is whatever that looks like for you. It could be, this is called pleasant or easy sitting pose. It's crisscross applesauce, but without the stack of the calves. That just keeps you from reinforcing imbalance between both sides. You can see I'm a little tight on my left. You could go one leg out, one leg in. You could take both legs out, tuck under a blanket, and kind of treat yourself to that support. You need to be as comfortable as you can on the mat because we're going to get a little uncomfortable. That's kind of where it goes. Comfortably uncomfortable, as my former cycle teacher used to say. So let's take a moment and get settled. A little rock side to side, feel balanced. Relax the shoulders. We're going to unclench the teeth and soften the face. And then let's take a scan of the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form. I want you to notice where you are already experiencing some tension or tightness. Where do you already have some response? It might be from the previous week. I don't know what you've been doing. Maybe you slept a little wonky. I'm pretty sure I slept last night, which is a bonus, which might be why I'm just so slow today. Anyway, all right. Let's take that attention and awareness and move it into the state and quality of our thinking and check in. What is hanging on from the week? What is pushing into your to-do list for the weekend? Might not be going, maybe it's just kind of sputtering into life. We want to hold those things off to the side and create a nice, clear, open field of thought for the practice. And then let's move those. Did we move into silence? I can't remember. Oh my gosh, this is just going to be a great one. Do I edit this out or this is just me? This is me, actually. This is me. All right, let's let's slide all of those things off to the side, and we're going to move some silence into the attention of the breath. In yoga, we traditionally breathe into and out of the nose. But if you are having any issues, I'm having some sinus issues today, but if you're uncomfortable breathing in and out through the nose, please just breathe. No passing out in yoga, unless we're on our backs at the end. And we're going to invite that breath to get a little bit longer and a little bit deeper. We want to match the length of inhale to the length of exhale and try to maintain that rhythm throughout the practice this morning. Excuse me. I'm not editing any of this out. This is the reality of yoga. Sorry if you wanted something slicker. Wherever we are in the length and balance of that breath, let's exhale all the air out of the lungs. We're going to sweep our arms up to the ceiling with the next inhale, and it's going to turn into a yawn. And releasing all of that down. I'm just going to start moving slowly. We're warming up. Working through those places that might be feeling a little stiff. And let's take it up. We're going to take a lateral extension. I like to start the warm-ups with these movements because we are going to get the musculature that supports our spine warmed up. We want to slowly get the blood moving. Start the breathing to get our mind awake. Let's take one more repetition, mostly because I lost count, but this also feels pretty good. So let's just do it. A little bit of extra movement isn't gonna hurt anyone. All right, let's take ourselves into forward fold. We're gonna trace fingers down, tucking chin. We're resting the body weight on the elbows. Can be legs, calves, block, which is way over there, or the floor. Where am I gonna go? I'm gonna go to my knees today because I don't wanna reach back at this particular moment to get that block. Unclench the teeth, wiggle the toes. Let's relax the energy out of the feet. We want to mind any foot cramps. People ask me why your foot cramps when we're doing yoga. It's because we shoot a lot of tension into our feet. We're tensing them up without even realizing it. And let's inhale through the length of the arms and walk our hands back. I don't know if that was a good cue or not. Let's reach it on up. We're going to open up those arms, palms toward the ceiling. Little shrug of the shoulders, soften the elbows. Reach back behind the body, tuck the chin. Releasing those fingertips down. Let's turn the hands back behind us, right next to the hips. Try to rock the shoulders down a little bit and roll them open. We're going to take a slow sweep of the head in both directions, just moving through the full articulation of the spine. We're just tilting an ear over to one side. We don't do full head circles because we do not need to compress or shorten our cervical spine. And when you look up, it might feel like you're lengthening or getting taller, but you're not. You're compressing your cervical spine. And one more side. Releasing the chin forward, let's trace fingertips around the front of the body and slowly stack our cervical spine. Can I say cervical spine one more time? I will, guaranteed. All right, we are going to switch the cross of the legs if you are sitting cross-legged. If you have one leg out, let's swap that out. If you're sitting with your legs extended, easy peasy, just stay where you're at. We're going to take another inhale up and reset this breathing rhythm. All right, we're going to take our elbows back. Give me a little cactus squeeze or goalpost shrug. Relax the shoulders down. Take those elbows back behind the body. We're going to slowly C-curve it. So lean into the hips as we reach forward and roll the shoulders, taking that length through the spine. Let's inhale up. We're going to just take a nice slow circle to get back into that cactus arm. And then we're going to exhale, roll forward. I guess not rolling it forward. That was a bad cue. Reaching forward as we tilt back. It's going to be one of those days, folks. Just buckle up. All right, lean back as we reach forward, tucking the chin. Nice big inhale up. All right, we're going to head for our forward fold. Trace the fingertips down, tucking the chin, rolling through the shoulders. Take a little rock side to side if you need to. This is a great place for the block if you have one, but don't worry. I'll cue without. I'm not using mine only because I'm too lazy to reach back behind me to get it. Let's release into the elbows. Tuck the chin, wiggle the toes, relax tension out of the feet. With the next inhale, let's lengthen the arms, walking the hands back, taking that stretch up toward the ceiling. We're going to reach on open, little shrug of the shoulders, tuck the chin, and let's take those arms back behind the body. Releasing those fingertips down toward the hips, tucking hands back. Let's tuck the chin forward and take those leans with the head. Releasing the chin down and switching sides. Let's bow the chin forward, tracing fingertips around the front of the body. We're going to slowly stack cervical spine. We're going to move to hands and knees. I like to pad my knees with a blanket. And I am going to reach back now for my block in case I need it. I think it's a useful tool to have, particularly if we are practicing at home. I'm going to grab some more coffee because it fuels my soul. All right. I am going to pad my knees with a blanket. I would like you to place your fists side by side on the mat. And then we're going to rest our knees to the outer placement of our fists. We are going to keep our hips stacked 90 degrees over the knees, but you are going to, I'm going to ask you to move your hands out from underneath your shoulders from stacked at 90 degrees to a little overextended. The reason we do that is because this is really difficult for your carpal tunnel, and you tend to lock your elbows when you are stacked 90 degrees, and then your shoulders shrug up into your ears, and then I got this weird saddle in my back. I want you to slide out half to a full palm's length. That takes pressure off of your wrists, relaxes your shoulders, and then you can give me this soft bend in the elbows, right? And we're engaging the core and flattening the back a little bit. We're staying out of that low lumbar curve. All right, let's start with an inhale. We're going to take a little Chakravarkasana balance. No, bow, bow. And exhaling, tucking the chin, placing the elbows to the mat. Slowly now take those hips back and bow toward the floor. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fist. We're going to inhale forward. And exhaling, tucking the chin, resting elbows, sweeping back. So make sure you touch the elbows to the mat first before we start that lean. I might have cheated on that one. We want to flatten the upper back so that we can get deep into this lumbar curve and reach back into that bow to take the stretch through the low back and obliques. And now we're going to add a little what the fuck lean. Oxen lean. Push out that hip, look over the opposite shoulder. And we're going to switch. So just moving side to side. Alrighty, we are going to come to angry cat. So let's come to center, tuck the tailbone, release the chin. I'm still soft in my elbows. I want to arch the back toward the ceiling and then lean a little bit into the heels. Inhale, we're going to go all the way forward through, I'm going to hit my head on my block, to the belly, and we're just going to take a little cobra lift. So I move my hands forward in front of my shoulders. My chin is tucked, and I'm just taking a little lift with my core. I'm not on my hands, just a little stretch. I'm going to release down, move my hands back under my shoulders, take a big inhale, and now engage the core to press back into a child's pose. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. Inhaling forward. And we're going to take an oxen lean. Let's push out over one side. And to the other. Coming through center, let's angry cat tuck it. Soft in the elbows. All right. Get deep into the chest. Let's come down through that belly. Move the hands forward, tuck the chin. Give me a little lift. Now you can put a little bit of pressure on the heels of the hands. We're going to release. Move the hands back. Take a big inhale. And we're going to press up into child's pose. Wiggle fingers, roll the wrists, make some fists. We're going to come forward through hands and knees. I have to readjust because I had to slide back for my child's pose. And I'm going to tuck my toes to press up into our runner's stretch. So let's press on up. Step into the balls of the feet. Soft in the elbows, please. Soft in the knees. I'm back behind the heels of my hands. I'm shrugging my shoulders down and into my rib cage to keep myself lifted out of my chest. I'm not resting on my shoulder girdle, as you see sometimes in yoga. That's not how your shoulders are designed to work. Let's press down a heel and hold into runner stretch. We're going to press to the other side. I'm just holding for a full inhale and exhale, and then I'm pressing into the other heel. Soft in the elbows, powered up into the chest, shoulders, and upper back. All right, I'm gonna glance forward and move up. Walk over that blanket, be mindful. I'm gonna keep my blanket there because we're gonna do some low plank, some modified planks. I'm also gonna grab my block here because it's first thing in the morning. Whoo, soften the knees for me. Little forward in just, you're still fully on the full surface of the foot. Wow, that was a terrible sentence. But you're just a little forward so that your hips, knees, and ankles are stacked in a line. We're gonna take a little fold. I cannot. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Let's slowly scoop it on up and reach to the ceiling. Oh, big open arm circle here. Stay soft in the knees. Give me that squish. Let's take 2 more of those because it felt good. I'm gonna have to, oh, I gotta tighten my shorts so they don't fall off. Sexy side of yoga no one ever shows you. All right, here we go. Nice big inhale up. Soft in the knees. Reaching on back. One more time, just nice big open arm sweep. All right, we're gonna come up to come down. We're gonna head for our forward folding chair. So sit back into the heels, release the body all the way down to the thighs, rest the ribs against the legs, and hang like a rag doll. I'm gonna trace my fingers right up the legs. I'm keeping my knees bent. I'm gonna roll through the back to come up this time. Nice big inhale, reach it on back. Whew. Coming on up. Releasing on down for our forward folding chair, just taking this stretch. All right, we're gonna head for our half lift. Let's trace the fingers up the legs, soft in the knees. Remember, we're going to 120, 110 to 140 degrees. I don't know what this is. Someone grab a compass. Roll the shoulders open. I'm sorry, I gotta crack myself up. I can't, and I'm not getting any feedback from my audience here. Good thing I'm laughing at myself, even if you don't think I'm funny. Let's come on down through our forward folding chair again. Release the low back. All right, I'm gonna touch the mat and step my right foot back. And we are gonna head to our warrior 1 foot. So I'm gonna step back and out. I'm gonna move the ball of my foot out to the edge, toward the edge of the mat, so I can turn my heel in and plant my foot firmly on the floor. I'm gonna worm my front foot forward just a little because I wanna keep my knee behind my ankle. I'm tracing my hand right up my leg. I'm gonna turn my body as forward as I can comfortably do so. I have a little squish in my knee, okay? My hips are as forward facing as I can get. I'm going to lengthen my body forward. I'm gonna bend into this knee, keeping it back behind my ankle. I'm just gonna go to shoulders today. We're gonna touch the shoulder caps, pull the belly in, and then reach back through the shoulder blades and the elbows. Little tuck of the chin. I want the length of spine from the base of my skull all the way down to the tailbone. We're gonna we're gonna lengthen through that front leg. Let's take the hands back to step forward. So engage the core here. Give me a little bend, scoop up through the belly, swing the hands back. One of the few times I'll say use some momentum and press up for the stretch. To come down, let's take it over, forward folding chair. We're gonna inhale. I'm just gonna bend my knees, lift my head and chest, sweep up. Take that nice big open arm circle. Whew, coming up to come down. Let's forward fold it. I messed that up. We were supposed to head for forward folding chair, but that's all right. Let's take a little forward fold. Oh yeah, the back, the back, the back. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. We're gonna trace up the legs for our half lift. So I'm just moved my hands to my hips. I dropped my shoulders open and back. I'm engaged in the core. Just a little deeper energy in this half lift. And now I'm gonna trace on down for my forward folding chair. Take a breath, inhale and exhale here. Touch the mat. Let's take the left foot back for our warrior one. So I stepped out and I'm gonna place my heel on the mat. You'll see I'm adjusting my feet so that I'm into my best pose, my best placement and alignment. Got a little squish in that back knee, a little less in that knee than I normally, than on my other side. That's the ankle I shattered. And I still have some screws left in it. And so it's definitely, it's definitely not, doesn't operate to full capacity. So many jokes on that one. All right. I'm going to turn my hips forward as I can comfortably get. I have lateral space between my feet here. Let's lengthen out. So I'm engaging my core. It's easier to see on this side that I've got a line straight from the base of my skull down to my heel, touching the shoulders. I'm just rolling those shoulders slightly back. Little warrior one here. Not little, modified. I'm going to lengthen up through this leg. Still got some squish in it. We're going to reach hands back to transition forward. So let's step up. Reach into the ceiling. Now notice I readjusted my feet to come back into my neutral stance. They were wide when I stepped up because I was wide laterally in my stance, and then I have to readjust them. So those are all the little moves that teachers make that I think just disappear into the flow. And you wonder, God, they make it look so easy. No, it's a lot of adjustments. So I want you to know that we're not all, plus I am of average height and bulky build. Let's big reach on up. I digress, as usual. Forward folding chair, take it over. Let's trace the fingers of the legs for our half lift. And now I'm going to press back and increase this energy. Okay, I'm going to trace on down. We're going to step that right foot back for warrior one. Look, I'm moving my front foot out. I've got my back foot towards the edge of the mat. I'm going to come on up. I think we've got a cactus arm in this, don't we? I'm going to rotate my hips forward and bring it back for this cactus arm. All right, we're going to lengthen the front leg. I want you to keep some squish in the knees. I'm still rotated forward in my hips. I'm going to place my fingers right on top of my thigh, and I'm going to take my half pyramid. Ardha, and I just lost it. I don't know what, I can't remember, think of the name, but it's half pyramid. This is a lot of energy in the front leg. I'm activating the hamstring at the same time I'm asking it to stretch, and I'm holding this knee from locking. I'm still maintaining a little squish in the back knee, but I want to draw this hip back. So I cue this. In fact, let's come on up and rest for a minute. I want you to draw this, rotate this hip back away from that ankle, okay, that front ankle. Because we kind of rotate out and then we are taking ourselves out of the full activation of the leg. So just draw this hip back to keep that square position of the hips and kind of focus on keeping that drawn back and then you rotate your body. A lot of you when we rotate this hip back, we rotate our body. So I want you to hold your hand here and then square up your body. So the hips are rotated open, chest is rotated almost a little bit forward. It's a very weird thing to think about your body position. Ooh. All right. We're gonna go down. I'm gonna throw this low modified plank in, and then we're gonna do this on the other side. So let's go down to plant the hands. Heel toe that foot out. I'm gonna come to my knees. I'm gonna be a little overextended. So look how far forward my hands are. Soften the elbows. And then I'm gonna come forward into this low plank. My elbows are soft. My shoulders are shrugged down away from my ears. I've lifted up through my core. Now in low plank, your hips are even more lifted, higher. I like to pick my feet off the mat. You can also just rest your feet down here. I just feel like that is a little more challenging. All right, let's come back into a child's pose. I'm walking my hands back to release for that fold. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. We're gonna walk ourselves forward to tuck the toes and come up to our feet. Let's step into the balls of the feet. Soften the elbows, shrug those shoulders down, push down into a heel. And switch. One more time. Okay, let's walk up for our forward fold. I'm soft in my knees. I'm just taking this out. If you have a block or you're a little high, just touch the shins or the top of the thighs. It's all good. Bend the knees, lift the head and shoulders. Give me a scoop as we trace up the legs. Use that core to lift the body. Big open arm circle. All right, we're gonna come up to come down, forward folding chair. And we're gonna move. Tracing on up for half lift. Soften the knees. Whew. Engage right here, tuck the chin and reach on back. Is there somebody else should be getting hot? Somebody else should be feeling their breath. Unless I'm just having a COVID day, I don't know, it could be. All right, let's release on down. I'm gonna step the right foot back. No, I'm live. We're gonna step the left foot back for warrior one. Moving my front foot out and a little forward. Trace the fingers right up the leg. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate my hips forward. I'm gonna bend that knee. I've squished my back knee, but it's a little less than the other side. And now you're gonna give me those cactus arms. Give me some power engagement through this low belly so that you're staying out of the low back. Okay, let's lengthen up. Give me squish in both those legs. Now you can't see it on this side, but I have rotated out, right? I want to draw this front hip back away from the heel. So let's draw back. And I'm just going to touch the top of my thigh and come on down for this forward fold. Now keep me some squish in this knee. Pull that hip back and then square up the body so that we are parallel to the side of the mat. Come on up for a minute, let's rest. I want you to feel when you come up, you rotate out, touch your hip, draw it back, scoop the belly, touch the top of your leg, and take it down. In fact, come on out of that for a minute and rest. I'll show you a front view of what I'm talking about. It'll be harder because I'll have to step off the mat. And doing yoga off the mat is slippery. Okay, so I'm gonna have lateral space between my feet. This is basically my warrior one stance. Squared up with the hips. Knee is directly over my heel. Warrior one, here it is. All right, lengthen through that leg, soften the knees. You can join me. I'm gonna rock this hip back. See what happens to my upper body? It twists with me. So now I wanna work my upper body away from that hip, while I keep it square, I'm gonna come halfway over and just touch the top of my leg. Yeah, feeling that glute, right? Come on up. Woo. Okay, we have to step back. Let me get where you're at. We have to step back to do our low plank, our modified plank, actually. So come on down. I'm gonna work that foot out to step back. Bring the knees down. I'm way out over extended on my arms, right? Soften the elbows. I want you to scoop the belly. We just shift forward. Tuck those elbows to the center of the mat. Shrug the shoulders down away from the ears. In fact, I'm gonna take this off for a minute so you can see what's going on in my back, okay? I had Wild Woman of Borneo hair this morning, so I'm giving it a chance to relax. I went to bed with it wet. I'll show you too, I'll show you. All right, so I'm engaged with the core. I'm up and drawn in. I want to shift forward. I've softened the elbows. I've shrugged my shoulders down. I'm lifted. I'm hollowing my body up and away from the mat. Rotate your elbows in. All right, let's come back to child's pose. Little rock side to side. Ooh, let that go. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists. All right, we're gonna walk forward and come down for our cool down because we got a little warm. So that was a nice little flow. I thought it was a nice little flow. Just enough to get you into moving and using your muscles differently. Tackling, we might not have done pyramid pose, but have we done pyramid pose? I can't remember, I'll have to go look through the lists and see. Anyway, I'm gonna grab the last sip of my cold coffee. It's not hot enough outside for me to drink cold coffee yet. All right, we're gonna rock back into supine position. We're gonna do a little cool down and work out of that energy of that flow. So let's just come on down. Make sure you've got some room behind your head. Bring your knees up, give them a little squeeze. Ooh. Roll the ankles. Wiggle the toes. Are your feet tired? My feet are tired because we've just done a lot of placement on the mat. We worked our muscles all the way up from the center of our arches into the hips. It's the beauty of yoga. Whew. All right. Take your feet to the mat, knees to the ceiling. I want you to place your toes together, your calves and knees together. I'm going to work my heels a little bit further away from my hips. And we're just going to take some sway side to side. So I'm just going to come on this way. I'm not coming all the way down for the twist. I just want to work through this energy lightly through the top of my hip and my obliques. We didn't actually do a twisting practice today. We did an extension, a back extension practice. So a twist is counter-indicative, indicative, contra-indicative. It's too early in the morning for me to think of that word. Anyway, it's a good word. All right, let's bring the left leg long, bring the right knee up in both hands, give it a squeeze toward the body. Point and flex that foot. Wiggle the toes. All right, if you have a strap, this is an excellent place to use it. My strap's way over there, so I'm gonna leave it over there. Press the heel up to the ceiling. So I want you to lengthen your leg away from the body. So even if you have to take it out to the end of the mat, push that heel out so that we can get full extension. I have a little squish in my knee, and I'm imagining that I'm pushing a button with my heel. That prevents actually you from hyperextending your knee. I can't even hyperextend my knee in this position. I'm just gonna take my fingers low on my thigh, around my hamstring. Just a nice easy stretch here. Don't over leverage or put too much tension on it, because we did do A lot of work on it when we were doing in our half pyramid. When we were standing in our half pyramid. Words, words, words. All right, let's bring that knee in. Draw it up into the body. Point and flex the toes. Ooh, did you hear that? My ankle just, something just popped back into place. Or maybe air, I don't know. All right, I'm gonna bring the other foot up. That was a terrible cue. Oh my goodness. Lengthen the right leg. Bring that knee up. Draw it into the body. All righty. Oh, I wiggle and roll. Sorry, I think I might have been tempted to fall asleep there for a minute. More coffee so I can do things faster. Alrighty, let's press that foot out the length of the mat, right? Dorsal flex the toes. Soft bend in the knee, push the heel away from the hip. And I'm just gonna bring my fingers low, wrap around the back of my thigh. All right, bring that knee in, get a little squeeze. Oh, yeah. Roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. Bring those knees up. I'm just checking the time. Oh no, we've got plenty of time. All right, we're gonna take the big toes to the edge of the mat. And we are gonna take some windshield wiper sweeps. And then we're gonna work a little active bridge. Taking the knees over. This is more of a hip twist rather than a low back twist. We want to work through the hip flexors, right? Because they were helping us stabilize in our pyramid pose. We want to take some of that energy out of the hip. Piriformis, iliopsoas bundle. One more time. All righty, we're gonna bring our feet in. So now they're about fist width apart. We're gonna scooch them up against the hips. We're gonna work just a little pelvic tilt. So we did back extension today, which is essentially a back bend. It's called, is it called stretching east? I don't know, you're gonna hear all kinds of mumbo jumbos about it. It's a back extension. I like that phraseology better than back bend because, right, when you think of back bend, you think of those gymnastics back bends. And while wheel pose is my ego pose, you have to have a lot of core strength to take the crunch out of your lumbar spine to do it. So we did some back extension today. We did a warrior one, which is a back extension. And we did obviously half pyramid, which is also a back extension, and a forward fold. So we ticked two boxes with that one, but we want to take that counter stretch with some pelvic tilts. So we're going to just relax into the feet, right? We're going to take an inhale, lift up just to the waistband, feel that counter stretch in the low back, and then release. We're going to do that 3 more times. So we're just lifting and releasing. And lift and release. And one more time. Lift and release. All right. Bring those knees up and give them a squeeze. So we're going to finish up with some Apanasana, and we're going to start with asymmetric, and then we're going to go to symmetric. And so we're working through that back extension. The reverse of it is a forward fold, right? And while we did a back extension and fold with pyramid, it was a lot of work. So we're going to take our right hand over the top of our right knee. We want to release some more of that energy in the pelvic lumbar rhythm. And we're gonna exhale all the air out of the lungs because we want to take a big inhale to prepare. And now we're gonna exhale and draw this knee in. Give me some gentle pressure on the left foot. Oh yeah, see, feeling that right up the glute med into the waist. Inhale, unwind just to the length of the arm. Exhale. Give me that little bit of pressure. It just creates a slight pelvic tilt and gets us into a little longer stretch of those muscles. All right, one more on this side. And release. We're gonna just slide the left hand over the left knee, hang it in the length of the arm. Big inhale to prepare. And exhale, draw it in. Give me that gentle pressure in the right foot. It doesn't have to be a big press, just enough to give me that slight tilt of your hips. So you can feel that stretch right up over the top of the pelvic cradle. That's where I'm feeling it. 2 more. Try to keep this knee from flaring out. Stabilize it to center. And let's release that foot down to the mat. All right, we're gonna take our double Apanasana. So this is symmetrical. Little rock and roll of the ankles, wiggle the toes. And let's start with our big inhale and draw those knees in. So this time you're gonna give me a little reverse crunch. Lift those hips slightly. You gotta use the low belly to get that same pelvic tilt to get the energy through all the way up the glute med, over the top into the insertion of the transverse abdominis, the obliques, and the lats. Right? Yeah, here we go. And one more time. All right, hug those knees up into the ribs. Wiggle the toes, roll the ankles, take a little rock side to side. All right, so here you're at. I want you to take a scan of the body, and I want you to decide where you need a little extra stretch. Maybe you have a favorite stretch that we haven't done. Maybe doing this last little cool down has drawn your attention to something that you're feeling a response to from the practice. Give yourself that stretch, okay? We're going to work our way into Shavasana. It's final relaxation. Traditionally, it is legs extended, arms at your sides. I'm going to take seated meditation only because I'm having some allergy issues, but you can put feet on the floor, knees to the ceiling. You can open up your arms into a V. You can tuck a blanket under the hips. Just be comfortable. It's really just a moment to draw ourselves down from that practice. So give yourself your stretch that you want, and then start thinking about where you're going to take final Shavasana. All right? Add a layer. I'm going to grab a drink of water. Start working your way down into your final relaxation. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Soft, easy inhale, soft, silent exhale. Oh. I want you to take a scan of the body, and we're going to start with our forehead. I want you to draw your attention awareness into the line of the muscles and nerve endings right across the forehead, along the line of the eyebrows, and soft in the temples. Bring that attention and awareness down through the cheeks, unclench the teeth. Let's soften the face. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Let's bring that attention down through the strap muscles. We want to relax through the neck. Continue that release of energy over the tops of the shoulder caps. Feel the tips of the shoulder blades sink a little heavier towards the floor. Let's relax through biceps and triceps and soft through the elbows. Soft and relax through the forearms, a little wiggle of the fingers, roll the wrists, and then relax the upper body toward the floor. Excuse me. Let's take our attention down through the ribs on either side of the spine and imagine getting a little bit longer through the vertebra from the base of the neck down between the hips. Maybe a little rock side to side. Relax through the glutes and let the torso rest. Pull that attention and awareness through the tops of the legs. Feel the quad muscles, big muscles. They did a lot of work today. Let's relax that energy out. We're going to continue around the back of the leg, releasing that energy through the back of the knees, maybe a little flexion or rock and roll with the calf, wiggle the toes, and now let the lower body take its rest against the floor. Let's pull that attention and awareness into the state and quality of our thinking. Your to-do list might be revving up. We want to hold it off to the side for just a little while longer. We want to anchor our attention to the breath. If things try to start moving into the center of your awareness, just let them drift aside like a cloud on the breeze. Just give it some notice and then let it off on its way. All right, we're going to draw some deeper breaths into the lungs. Big filling inhale, big sigh and exhale. Let's do a couple more of those. Wiggle the fingers, roll the wrists, wiggle the toes, roll the ankles. to reach my arms out to the side, big stretch away from the center of the chest, and then let's slide them up over the head. Take that re-energizing, yawning, squeezing energy back into the body, stretch. And now let's release the fingertips down to the hips. Oh, bring a knee up. Let's give it a squeeze in the hand. Bring the other knee up. We're gonna hug those knees toward the body. Then take a little rock side to side. When you're ready, rock completely over to one side, resting your head on your arm, taking a moment to notice the support of the floor beneath you. When you're ready, walk your body. Let's see, not walk your body. Walk your hands underneath the torso toward the hip to help you lift the body up and come back to comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Let's take a little rock side to side. Roll those shoulders back. I'm gonna tuck my fingertips around my knees. I'm gonna lean my head and my body away from that arm in one direction and take that stretch all the way over the top of the shoulder. Releasing through a fold in the other direction. That wasn't a fold, it was a little bow. And now let's center up. Let's stack shoulders over ribs, ribs over hips. And let's take a little scan of the body, checking in state and quality of the physical form. Moving that attention and awareness into the space and quality of our thinking, checking in. You can start inviting that to-do list to spool up, but let's keep a little bit of elbow room, a little bit of space between our to-dos so that there's no pushing, no shoving. Hopefully we can move through our list more effectively that way. And finally, let's just take a little notice of the breath, that soft, easy, intuitive breath into and out of the nose or the mouth, wherever. It's what carries us through our day. We really don't give it any attention until it is hampered in some way, right? If you can't do it, then you miss it. I'm gonna release practice, blinking my eyes open. I like to take this last final big stretch up toward the ceiling. You don't have to join me if it doesn't feel your jam. Oh, releasing on out of that and letting go of practice. Giving your body some honor for doing what you asked it to do today and all the hard work it does to get you from one end of the week to the other. Guys, again, I cannot tell you how sincerely thankful I am that you are joining me online with the fucking yoga company. I know online is not is not your favorite. I'm finding my groove. I'm kind of dealing with it. It's keeping me safe. It's keeping you safe, and we're keeping our groove on. Wear your masks, wash your hands, please, please, please. Be smart, be kind, and subscribe to the fucking yoga company. Keep an eye out for the book, the fucking yoga book, Yoga for the Rest of Us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. Subscribe to my email list through the website, TheEffingYogablog.com. And if you have any questions, email me at yoga@jclynn.com. I'm Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Oh, I was going to show you my crazy hair. So I went to bed with my hair wet last night with zero product into it. I feel like one of those birds with the red poof. Yeah, that's sexy yoga right there, guys. This is part of embracing our bodies, the way they look, the way they are, the way they manage. I have this amazing Joan Jett haircut, but with curly hair, it gets a little nuts. Anyway, that was a treat. You like that? That was my big finish. Crazy hair. I feel like a shepherd book. And if you get that reference, you are one of my peeps. And if you don't get it, you're still one of my peeps. Have a good day. I got nothing. I got nothing else. More coffee. That's what I'm going to go do. Thank you so much.